Let me tell you a story. Not just any story, but one that completely changed the way I see life, change, and even reality itself. Many years ago, I had the chance to sit down with a man who, to this day, remains one of the wisest people I've ever met. For privacy's sake, let's call him Ethan. Ethan wasn't famous. He wasn't on TV or writing best-selling books. In fact, most people probably wouldn't have even noticed him in a crowd. But he carried something rare, deep, grounded wisdom. One quiet afternoon, we sat together in a small garden, surrounded by nature. And out of nowhere, he asked me a question I'll never forget. Do you believe it's possible to consciously grow new muscle? New bone? To deliberately change not just what you do, but what you are? I was caught off guard. My mind quickly ran through all the facts I knew: biology, physiology, science, genetics. Everything I had been taught said there were limits. Sure, you can train, you can strengthen, you can optimize, but grow entirely new structure? That sounded impossible. Sensing my hesitation, Ethan smiled. That, he said softly, is exactly why most people stay stuck where they are. I leaned in. I could tell he was about to drop something profound. The trap of what is. He went on to explain something I had never thought about before. The reason change comes so slowly for most people, Ethan said, is not because change is hard or because life is unkind. It's because they are completely addicted to observing what is, their current reality. And whatever you keep observing, you keep recreating. He paused and let the words hang in the air. We are so deeply conditioned to believe that we can only act on what we see. That unless we have proof, unless someone else has done it, it must not be possible. But what most people don't realize is that this constant focus on current reality is the very thing that keeps reality the same. I was silent. My mind was racing. Look around you, Ethan continued. Most people look at their bodies, their bank accounts, their relationships, their circumstances, and they believe those things define them. And because they keep giving attention to what is, they keep recreating it over and over again. The power of imagination. And he said something that shook me. But the universe, or whatever you wish to call this creative force, doesn't care whether your thought comes from something you observe or something you imagine. It responds to your vibration, to the energy of your thought and belief, equally. Now I was starting to see where he was going. The people who change the world, he said, don't wait for proof. They don't wait for evidence. They imagine what hasn't been seen yet. They step into possibility before it becomes physical. That is how all great innovations were born. Not from observation, but from vision. So, he leaned forward, if you're waiting for something to happen before you believe it, you will always be waiting for someone else to create it first. But if you can believe before you see, then you step into the role of creator. The leading edge, that, Ethan said, is what it means to live at the leading edge of life. It takes vision. It takes courage. But it is the most thrilling place you can live. Because to desire something, deeply desire it, while having zero doubt about your ability to achieve it, is one of the most powerful and joyful states a human being can experience. He paused again, letting me absorb the weight of what he had just said. But, he warned, most people don't get there. You know why? I shook my head. Because they mix their desire with doubt. They want something, but the moment they feel the slightest uncertainty, the moment they don't see immediate evidence, they start to contradict their own creation. And that contradiction slows everything down. Pure thought brings speed, pure desire, clear, consistent, joyful expectation, draws what you want faster than anything else. But it requires discipline. Ethan explained that this kind of deliberate thought is not something you stumble into. It's a skill. A practice. You must train yourself to stop obsessing over what is. You must learn to detach from current circumstances. And instead, you must invest your energy into imagining what you want as though it is already real. The daily practice. Then Ethan shared the simple, powerful practice that changed everything for me. Every day, he said, set aside 15 minutes. Go somewhere quiet. Close your eyes. And for those 15 minutes, live entirely in the world you want to create. Visualize your body in perfect health, strength, and vitality. See your relationships thriving. Imagine your finances flowing abundantly. Feel your environment exactly as you desire it to be. Do this without contradicting yourself. Without thinking, but how? Or what if it doesn't work? Just live it, feel it, and enjoy it. I asked him, is it really that simple? He smiled. Simple? Yes. Easy? No. Because you've been trained your whole life to believe only what you see. But once you train yourself to believe what you feel, to believe what you envision, you will witness the power of deliberate creation. And your entire world will begin to transform. Separate yourself from the past. As our conversation went deeper, Ethan offered one of the most powerful insights of all. What has been has nothing to do with what will be. You are not your past. Your past does not limit you unless you insist on carrying it forward in your thinking. And what others experience, their failures, their limits, have absolutely nothing to do with your possibilities. You must learn to separate yourself from both, from your history and from others' experiences, if you wish to become the person you are capable of being. The greatest secret. Before we parted ways that day, Ethan gave me a final thought that echoes in my mind even now. You are far more powerful than you have been led to believe. The real secret isn't out there in the world. It's in your ability to direct your attention, to command your imagination, and to maintain pure desire without contradiction. Once you master that, you are no longer waiting on life, life is waiting on you. And that, my friends, is how you create change. Not by waiting for proof. Not by watching others. Not by living in fear of failure. But by learning to step into your own vision, boldly, joyfully, and without doubt. That conversation with Ethan didn't just inspire me. It liberated me. Final reflection. If you take one thing away from this story, let it be this. Your power lies not in what you observe, but in what you believe before you observe it. Master that, and you become the deliberate creator of your own reality.